All right, I'd like to introduce you all to a new brother. Would you please tell everybody your name, son?
Rahubat, everyone. My name is Ivory.
All right, Ivory. Welcome home. We love you, and we really.
Yes, sir.
Welcome home, Ivory.
I sug.
All right, I shoot. That's right. That's right.
Welcome home, my brother.
Yes, right.
Thank you all.
Okay. I love you. We love you. Okay.
I love you too.
Now, if Katan's not here, and tonight, did you say you wanted to share a little something with us tonight? Amun, Kifa?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Right now, I'd like to start off while you get yourself together by refreshing a little bit, reminding you all that atoms are 99.9% empty space. I want you to think about what I just said. Atoms are 99.9% empty space. So in reality, we are not here. This is just a three-dimensional hologramic light show. Are you following me? Hologramic light show. We're all one single mind, so when I'm talking to myself, when I'm talking to you, I'm actually talking to myself. The source, which is divine mind, separated itself up into different sections in order to experience the nature of things. And ultimately, we return the source with the information. Understand what I said? Anybody have any questions about what I just said? Now's the time.
You say 99.9% not here, the atom?
Empty space. So what I'm saying is you got roughly 7.5 billion people on Earth. So if we took out all the empty space out of all those people, 7.5 billion, you all would weigh less than a cube of sugar as a collective. 7.5 billion people. And actual substance would weigh less than one cube of sugar. So you see, it's all mental, it's all mind, it's all projection, all hologramic. Do we invoke any questions then?
No, sir.
Okay. You clear on? You knew that?
Somewhat, not fully.
All right, then you study quantum physics then, Ivory, right?
Yes, sir, but not fully. Looking to it.
Very good. I'm glad you're in the right place. Okay, now who has that first spiritual experience or that first question right now? You have a question about anything? What's the first question?
I got one.
All right.
All right. So we're in the hereafter.
Yes, we are. Can you speak up a lot louder, please?
Due to the situation, I'm gonna try. Okay, so if we are in the hereafter right now, where would that put us, like, time-wise, as far as time reference, where, all things have already started all over, right? And we're in a whole different...
Well, the thing is, we have to look at time itself. It's an allegory. It's not reality.
Right.
It too is an illusion, because you all, at the core of you, are Faut, or all. And all does not live inside of time. All is outside of time. Remember, the simplest way to look at it is that today is Thursday, tomorrow will be Friday. When you wake up tomorrow, will you call it tomorrow? You'll call it today, right? What am I going to do today? See, the problem is every time tomorrow comes, it's still today. And yesterday is a continuation of today. So there is no time. Neither is there any place. They know that phonetically because if you say where it's over there, take the T off there, Ivory. What does it spell? Ivory.
To take the E off of it?
Take the T off there.
Here.
And you say where? Okay.
Here.
Take the
He
W
said
off
there.
where?
He said there.
Okay, very good. And you take the W off where?
Here.
Still here, right?
Yes, sir.
And if you supposedly die, you go to the where after, Ivory?
To the hereafter?
Exactly. So everything is here and now, vibrating on different frequencies. So time is not relevant, right? But we lived out a cycle. We lived out a cycle. And what we're actually going through is a division in the earth. The earth is vibrating on different frequencies. Yes, hello? Kata, open up the room. You all hear me, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Kata, open up the room. All right. Unc, are you here? Can you all open up room 50?
Yeah, I'm here.
It's 504 open and 774.
504 and 774 are both open.
Okay, 712. Amun, open up 712 for me. Yes, thank you. All right. So, what we're all talking about is shifting in dimensions, a shift in dimension. We're raising up in frequency. As it says in the scriptures, there'll be a new heaven and a new earth, for the former things will have passed away. Are you following me? So, as we raise up and expand in consciousness and raise up in vibration, we're pulling away from the people that are vibrating on an old frequency. Check out the Mandela effect. Everybody should have checked out the Mandela effect. So that those people that are still vibrating on a three-dimensional frequency, on a sluggish frequency, because we were all at one time inmates of Malakut, the spiritual plane. And I do want to make a minor adjustment there, because Malakut is actually a plane of liquid. Nasser is solid, and Lahut, or the realm of the Most High, is gaseous. Right? So, I understand that what it is we're seeking our normal consciousness level. The ones you call the 144,000, you are seeking your normal consciousness level. Now, I'd like to go to the Holy Tablets. If you all have a second to go get the Holy Tablets. Ivy, do you have your Holy Tablets?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. We're going to go to chapter 7. Holy Tablets, authored by Dr. Malachi Z. York. We're going to go to chapter 1. Chapter 7, chapter 1. All right.
I'm in chapter 7.
All right. Now we're going to start at tablet 1. When everybody's ready. Okay. Lo, Anu, Ilion, Ilion El, who is praised and the supreme, the most high, the highest, who created the creators, who made the makers, who fashioned the fashioners, who is the originator of the originators, builder of the built things before the first and after the last. Once you are out of love of yourself and compassion for yourself, then and only then can you overstand the physical world in which you reside. That which you overstand through what you think to be your five senses. Remember, I told you all that you're connected to this hologram physically through your sensory organs, centrally located on your face, your nose, ears, eyes, your mouth, hear, feel, taste, touch, and smell, right? That's what creates the illusion that this is reality to you. Deprivation of those senses would reveal to you that this is not reality at all. But in reality, when you did lay in the laboratory of Shempty, in time gone by, there was removed from you your barytheric gland. This maimed you and cut you off from random access to the divine. Originally, you had what was called Nitir Tatin, the seven senses that could activate seven higher senses, such as telepathy, intuition, clairvoyance, and even higher until you ascended back into divinity. But you are trapped by one sense, touch, which is multiplied by deception to five. For to see, light, touch, nerve centers, to smell particles, touch, nerve centers, to hear sound waves, touch, nerve centers, and to feel, you reach and touch things which activate your nerve centers, right? They multiply this one sense, the sense to really know, to see, that's perception, really. Hear, taste, smell, and feel. The removal of the barytheric gland removed the four higher senses, which were telepathy, psychometry, clairvoyance, and intuition. The sense is necessary for random access throughout the boundless universe. It trapped you in a state of cause and effect, to and fro, up and down, good and bad, in this world of cause and effect. You were made human, given the lesser knowledge which controls you. Things being investigated, knowledge became complete. Their knowledge being complete, their thoughts were sincere. Their hearts being rectified, their persons were cultivated. Their persons being cultivated, their families were regulated. Their states were rightly governed. The whole kingdom was made tranquil and happy. It is necessary to overstand the spiritual realm, in which you would be using all seven senses, thereby rendering you an Elohim. Then even higher on to your nine senses, rendering you an etheric being, which is the true world of causes, not effects, you follow me? Because the Most High is the causeless cause with no effect. He does things because he wants to, and the effect is zero. The things of the world and its inhabitants are subject to change. There are combinations of elements that existed before, and all living creatures are what their past actions made them, and all living creatures are what their past actions made them. For the law of cause and effect is uniform and without exception. The seven descending planes being Tanum the potter, the Ab, heart of Anu, El-Elo the source, who is Ilion El, the abode called Lahut, from which the name El-Elo, the appointed by Al-Kalum, or Kalum, other definite article, the all, from which all originated, the source of the divine reality, spark of life. Life is the time you spend in your cat body on this earth or other planets. From the moment of conception, between the sperm and the ovum, there is life, divine or otherwise, prior to fertilization. There was a 3-month preparation inside of the female and the male. This is actually the first 3 months of the human being. So in gestation, you don't have 9-month term like they say, but 12 months, because the spiritual addition of the life force into the mother and father introduced. That's why your birthday is every 12 months rather than every 9. Once the egg is fertilized by the male sperm, the child is already in the 4th month of life. So a woman carries a child for 12 months and not 9 months, as you have been led to have faith. The source of divine truth, the guardians or Anunnaki, the source of the mental plane of spirit and Ba soul, where thoughts are formed. The source of the spiritual plane, where the emotions are manifested. The source of the plane of force were the forces between voluntary and involuntary actions which life substance is manifested. The source of the material, the governor of the carnal desire, the governor of carnal desire, material, not spiritual, where Anu, Elilu, who is also Ilion El, to rule over the heavens and the planet, who is called Yahah, or Jahab, by the Mitzraymites, or those of Kemet. This became Yahweh from Yah good and Way evil, being called the light of the heavens and the earth by those who worship the sun, and placed in the heart of Elilu, the source, who is called Allah. The plane of force is a plane about which the human mind cannot conceive the knowledge concerning it. For he, Elilu, is the all-knowing, the all-wise, the supreme being. He is Elilu, and you should have no other Elilu with him, simply La ilaha illa Allah. Remember, I told you all that I met him on the throne. I was taken up, and I was standing on his left, and he was sitting on the throne, very tall, very heavily melanated, thin. And he had on a crown, like a Sumerian crown, and he was staring down into what I sensed to be creation. And he didn't even look up, but as he said one thing to me, he said, I thought you were supposed to be thin like me. And my response was, because you can't lie in the spirit, I said, I am in spirit. And it's happening now physically too, because I'm losing weight very fast. Say in your heart, I have faith by way of Allah as He is, by using all of His names and acknowledging all of His special qualities, by accepting them in your heart and reciting it with your tongue, and declaring, I would be faithful to Allah and all the messengers of Malaikat, Anunnaki Elohims of Allah, and all of the scriptures, and of all of those Rasul sent forth by Allah, who is Anu, for guidance, and in a final day when all actions will be judged. Please star 6 your phone, according to whether agreeable or disagreeable. All of this comes from Anu, Elion, right up until death. There are two lives, life on earth and life after physical death. That's what I mean by the hereafter. Death is the door which takes you from one stage in life to the next stage of higher life, because we ascend tab plane after plane. Right? And soul will pass at once to the planes. So you're shifting in frequency. Those of you with me into the fifth dimension, the fourth and the fifth dimension again. Right? Or even bypass the planes and go into the heavens, and go into the heavens or other galaxies. That'll be new word. Okay, from where your soul and ether being originated, with the help of the elder Anunnaki, the Igigi, the heavenly host, or 24 elders who sit around the throne called Shuyut. You should not weep at natural death, but rejoice and welcome the presence of the Elohim. The Anunnaki bless you with old age, which allows the physical body to rest from the harmful activities that we indulge in every day. Old age prepares humans for their inevitable judgment. So escape not from the possibility of becoming elderly, for it is an honored gift that it's supposed to be not everyone receives. That's the typo. You may weep for murdered victims or accidents or illness, and life cut off before old age. You can weep for the pain they felt, not for the transfer from this world to the next. That's the new heaven and new earth. You cannot take from all, and you cannot add to all. All merely shares, and you become. The plane of divine reality, the middle spark, the essence of being, the light of the life of human beings, a divine spark, reflected spark from Anu, Elionel, the Most High, the highest, manifesting itself as light. Light disturbed the supreme balancement of darkness and created, the concept of individualism, or a focal point which manifested there as opposed to here. That's how. This is a thought world, but it's not reality. In reality, there's only one presence, nine mind here. This spark is in each individual, making them a supreme being, unto beings known as Anunnaki, Elohims, then unto human beings, unto humans, unto men, unto mammal, unto beast like man. As ether beings, rulers of the agreeable Anunnaki seraphim who can incarnate on behalf of human beings, and of the disagreeable Anunnaki cherubim who can incarnate on behalf of man and man-beast, having both male and female gender. For in the spirit, Zachar, son of Atum, and his wife Lilith, and Nekeba, daughter of Ptah, and his wife Anath, are one being. Thus you, Zachar, are Nekeba, and you, Nekeba, are Zachar. He is also called Adam. It is on this plane where the mental spark is formed, the shell of the spiritual body of Zachar, rule of Nasser, abode of the Enocytes, of forgetful beings, right? A spark of divine consciousness, leading to the development of the human soul, being in the likeness of the Anunnaki, and a new Elilo, the most glorified and exalted light as a child of the Elohim. This spark of consciousness, this mental spark that radiates a part of itself to the planes below it, it projects down to the spiritual plane and forms what you call the soul by the binding of the spirit to the mud, right? It is the light of Anu, Elilo, most glorified and exalted, becoming life. Remember I told you again, 12 months in gestation, and when the baby meets maternity, at first you got 3 months after the 3 months spiritual introduced, then you have 3 months of the zygote being a reptilian. You can see the tail curled around it in the claws. The third trimester, which they define as the second, it's a Rumardian or gray, right? The big head, gray, and it's just like when you're in the stage, when you keep your hand in water too long, your fingers puff up, and if you leave a bandage on long, your skin turns gray. And finally, the fourth trimester, in the third trimester, which they call, which is really the fourth, you become a human being, a Homo sapien, which is a hybrid between a reptile and a gray. That's what you are. And then when you're finally born and the doctor cuts the cord, the umbilical cord, you're still a spiritual entity because you're not accessing air from the atmosphere around you to live, and you're not dependent upon the sun for heat or warmth, but on the internal sun, you're still a spiritual being or an angelic being, and not part of this three-dimensional hologramic show until the doctor flips you, hangs you upside down by your feet, and he spanks you. That generates pain, and your reaction to the pain is to cry. And in order to cry, you have to inhale. Oxygen is part of that, and prana, or secum, as described by the Egyptians, prana by the Greeks. That oxygen is very highly flammable. You don't smoke around oxygen, you follow? So when this oxygen mixed with prana or secum goes into your nostrils or your pyramid on your face, it eventually reaches your circulatory system and is pumped by your heart, your artery system, until it eventually circulates, deposits some oxygen and life force into every cell inside of your body until it reaches the internal sun, that original spark in your solar plexus. When it does, that oxygen hits that spark and generates a bigger spark, like a magneto in a car. And that spark starts to tumbling, like when you ignite the ignition in the car and the pistons start tumbling, and that tumbling is what you call life, because it binds the spirit to the mud to create the living soul, and you begin your zero time reference here on earth as what you call a human, described as a human being. Okay, the spiritual body will be visible as ethereal form to those close to the deceased. This is the spirit together with the 2.5 of soul. You know, it's been determined scientifically that when a man or woman is in the throes of death, that they take very sensitive scales and they place the person on that scale, and they just watch them on a highly sensitive electronic scale, and at the moment of death, it overtakes them, and they lose roughly 2.5 ounces in weight. That's the weight of the substance of the real you, the soul, the Ankh Ban Ka, the real Trinity, the spirit, soul, and ethereal aspect of you. Okay. This is the spirit together with the 2.5 of soul. And the breath of life is the last thing to leave the body. The spirit then becomes drowsy and sinks into the preliminary sleep of the spiritual plane. The spiritual body houses the soul of the spiritual etheric plane. When the breath of life ceases to exist in human beings, the ethereal cord and the spiritual body is cut, allowing this person to live and extend an independent ethereal life, much like when a baby is born. The umbilical cord is cut from the mother, which he once depended upon. The baby comes out and begins a whole new life, right? The soul is greater than life because when life is no more, the soul remains forever. And because the soul is greater, it gives you your will to live or die. I told you all before that you leave here when you get ready. A lot of people thought that was odd, but it's true. When a person dies, the soul and the breath of life is the last thing to leave the physical body. This soul is attracted by bacteria, and a form is shaped around it. A body by the hand of the Anunnaki, most glorified and exalted ones, the benevolent ones. Okay, remember I told you that a woman is pregnant and she walks the earth plane, and as she's breathing, she inhales particulates from people that already passed away. And your DNA inside of the pregnant mother calls those very specific elements, and she takes them in through a nasal cavity, and all those that she rejects are not needed for the creation of your physical form are rejected in the form of heavy mucus. But these ones that are called on by your DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid, are circulated around through your bloodstream, and they cling to the magnetic light, which is the spiritual essence of you, to form out of bashir, or skin, to form an outside body, in the same way the invisible man puts on clothes so that you can see him. Okay. But you are not that body, not that situation, only watching this happen from above. As above, so below. This soul is attracted by bacteria, and a form is shaped around it. A body by the hand of the Anunnaki, most glorified and exalted ones, the benevolent ones, on the arms of Enki, Israel, the angelic being of death, son of Anu Id, built on the atoms of the physical plane, and it manifests as a mortal body and spirit, giving birth to a living soul. The body, the spirit, the living soul is the successor of the earthly plane, a son of the Anunnaki, Zachar. You were born of the will of Anu, Elilo, a living soul. The middle sparks, all connected through the spiritual umbilical cord, the etheric cord, the plane of divine truth, spiritual perfection and attainment. A plane exempt from all carnal desires. That's what you were before you descended down here. For whatever reason, some of you were sent as light workers, star people, to help assist in raising up the consciousness of the people, to raise them back up to the spiritual planes, the higher planes. And some were cast out of the intergalactic confederations because of malcontent, because they were disagreeables, right? Supreme spiritual bliss is the level of consciousness, right? Supreme spiritual bliss is the level of consciousness, which is the daily expression of those you call the ranks of angelic beings. Cohen, Zodiac priest, the 3 and 20 elders, Akatiel, Anipiel, Azabuga, Bariuel, Kimuel, Gelkaliel, Gelgaliel, Haniel, Uphiel, Jehuel, Madeline, Raguel, Quadison, Radiariel, Ripiel, Mehi, Shamuel, Yana, Suriel, Yepaphia, Zagzagel, and Sandalphon. The 4 and 20th seat is open to all the news bearers, right? The 4 and 20th seat is open to all the news bearers, that's prophets. And the 25th is the one of the 24 that takes the seat of overseer. So when you read the prayer of Amun by Panabab Yanun, he tells you that all praise is due to Amun-Rayay, the overseer of the heavens and the earth, right? Because I was Akhmet, and I took the 19th seat. But in this equinox, you see God incarnates every 25,000 years. So when you listen to his DVD, Proving the Existence of God, he tells you there's another God here. And he thinks outside the box. He's not trapped inside of persons, places, and things. And he will do it a little differently. And then he goes over to the chalkboard and he erases everything he was writing and he stipulates that all this old stuff has got to go. You follow me? All right. And the 25th is the one of the 24 who takes the seat of overseer. As the 19th becomes the 20th, please mute your phones. Star 6 your phone. As the 19th becomes the 25th, and the renewal of history, which takes place every equinox, nearest to the heart of Anu, El Elo, most glorified and exalted. It is the school of the Anunnaki, of the green light, from where they have the ability to personify as 12 times 12, 144, right? And it's here that one is translated from a mental state into that divine state. The middle spark is the plane of the chosen. Now, I'm going to want you to answer some questions here, all right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Rejoice at the... Okay, the mental plane is the plane of the chosen, right? Rejoice at the glad tidings. The chosen one, our master, has found the root of all evil. He has shown us the way of salvation. The chosen one dispels the illusions of our mind, like the fears of death, and redeems us from the fears of death. Now, I care. Are you here from Mississippi?
Rahul back.
Hey, Rahul back. But I care. Are you here in Mississippi? That I wanted to single him out for a reason. You all know that he's close friends with Minkari, right? Everybody familiar with Minkari here, right?
Yes, Rahul back to Central.
No, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Minkari has been with us a long time. And Lorenzo Wilson, or I care, he kept telling me, now, I've healed him from cancer twice, definitely. And he put testimonies out about that. Well, he contracted cancer again. And you got to be careful about God, mind your mind for the jewels of your soul. Because for some, I care said a dark spirit possessed him. And he cut himself off. He didn't want to be bothered with us as a group anymore. And he definitely didn't want anything else to do. He said he didn't believe in me anymore. Now that was after I healed him from cancer twice, that was a serious statement. But my point is that I'm sad to announce that he succumbed to, he died about 4 days ago. He died Monday. I just wanted you all to know that. So if you have any special prayers to send up for him,
Did he make, I'm sorry to hear that. Did he make the shift?
I'm sorry to hear it too. But Kim, you're not surprised though, are you?
No, I'm not.
I know.
No, for real?
Because Ivy has no clue what I healed you from, but you do. And we both know that that was more than life-threatening. It was the most serious disease you could have. But isn't that a fact? Without naming it, isn't that true?
Yeah, that's true, Mr. True.
Yeah. And you had it for 12 years. And we have laboratory proof that, I don't know, but he said a dark spirit just possessed him. And he just didn't want anything to do with us anymore. Now those of you that learn the truth and then turn away from it, then increase in disbelief. Those of you that believe and then turn away, then increase in disbelief. And there is no saving of that soul. Remember that. Once you've been accepted by the Most High into His kingdom, and you get a chance to witness the solar flares, and you move stars, you receive healings, and you see, and I take you to a healing session, and you see your own aura through your skin, perspiring through it, around your fingers and your shoulders and arms, and all these various things. You get your questions answered, and you know it's the real truth, and then you turn away from it. You know what you're turning into. You're walking wide-eyed into the fire. Okay? He restores peace to those who are broken down under the burden of this life. Listen to me. He restores peace to those who are broken down under the burden of this life. He gives courage to the weak when they are at times ready to give up self-reliance. And hope, the chosen one has proclaimed the truth. Let the truth of the chosen one dwell in your hearts, extinguishing yourselves every desire that antagonizes the chosen one. And in the perfection of your spiritual growth, you will become likened to him, or do greater things than him. Those of you here which cannot or will not develop into the chosen one must perish. You understand what I'm saying? You understand what's being said to you here? Communicate it. Those of you here which cannot or will not develop into the chosen one must perish. For it is the source of your error. It is the cause of your misery. Now, those who through flashes of intuitive illumination from a higher source and are able to perceive that which the ordinary human perceives not, such as watch the stars move, the chosen is that one who finds his normal consciousness level, expressing a bright light from within the inner sun at the seat of the solar plexus. This plane is the midway plane between the human being and the supreme being, where all those of the ancient mystic order of Melchizedek spiritually meet. We're not meeting physically in a temple or anything. We're in a spiritual meeting, where they adore their crimson crown, and you listen to hear the tassel bell of happiness sound, where their heart is wrapped with the noble sash, a token of authority, dignity, power, honor, and reward. One is a symbol of glory and remembrance of their great path, as they raise in height from degree to degree. 720 is what they will be. Listen to me good. 360 masters of physical, and all 360 opens the way to the spiritual plane, spiritual hall. 7 and 20, 9 to the ninth power of 9. At this point, you become Lord over space and time, knowing no depth and no height, raised from the darkness of ignorance to the intellectual light, endures all temptations when he is tried, a crown that is his own, the jacket with the wings of an angel is worn. Thus you have your inner pyramid. Pyra means the fire, mid means the centers, the nose on the face and the hills. Okay, so now let's go back a few of these verses, Ivory, to try to see where you are. Now, let's read. Let me hear you read 187 forward.
Okay.
As loud and clear as you can. Project. You're gonna be teaching people from now on, so project your voice.
You said 187, correct?
Yes, sir.
So, extinguish in yourselves every desire that antagonizes the chosen one. And in
what does that
mean? Let me read it again.
What does that mean?
Extinguish. I don't get it. Extinguish yourself every desire that antagonizes. So negative.
Okay, extinguish. You know when you have a fire, what do you put the fire out with? You use an extinguisher, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you extinguish in yourself every desire that antagonizes the chosen one, or pitchforks, or annoys, or works against him in any way. You follow what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Extinguish. Put that out in yourselves every desire that antagonizes the chosen one, and in the perfection of your spiritual growth, you will become likened to him. That's clear?
Yes, sir.
All right. Those of you here, okay, go ahead and read 89.
Those of you who hear which cannot or will not develop into the chosen one must perish. For
Can you make us understand? Make us don't know. Wait, make it. Yeah, I don't want you to just read. I want you to understand and make everybody else understand. Describe 189. Break that down for us.
It says, those of you who are here, which cannot, which means they are not able to, and that will not
or will not
chosen, which or will not develop into the chosen, are those that are not doing what they're supposed to. They're not
Right.
extinguishing the things that are antagonizing the chosen. So,
Correct. And they're trying to harass or stifle the chosen one. Those of you here which cannot or will not develop into the chosen one, what?
must perish.
That means die. Therefore, you have Menkari, right?
That means to not continue? Yes, sir.
That's right. That's right. Go ahead. Read 190.
For it is the source of your error, which means you're the one who did it against yourself, nobody else.
Exactly. That's exactly right.
It is the cause of your misery.
That's right.
means
And death can be
you
miserable.
feel guilty from contributing to.
Well, if they don't have, maybe they don't feel guilty, but the misery that they're going to receive for this is going to be the effect of the cause. You see, for it is the source of your error. It is the cause of your misery, right?
Yes, sir.
I mean, imagine being overcome by cancer, stage 4 or 5 cancer is miserable. Okay, 191.
It is those of you who, through flashes of intuitive illumination from a higher source.
That's what pulls them up. They turn themselves, like Malachi used to say, turn yourself inside out. And I added, in your perspective of who and what you are. They make the journey within and reconnect with being a spiritual ascendant being, rather than attaching themselves to the carnal things in life, the physical body and money and possessions and all these things. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Okay, 92.
I have the ability to perceive that which the ordinary human perceives not. Which means,
that's right, and are able to perceive that which the ordinary human perceives not. Like some people are so carnal and physical, you can move stars for them, and you know they can't even see it. You hear me? Or they can't understand these words. The words sound like gibberish to them. Now you saw the stars move the other night when you called me, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. That means you're not among these unfortunates, and are able to receive that which the ordinary, mute your phones, and are able to perceive that which the ordinary human perceives not. The chosen is that one who finds his normal consciousness level, expressing a bright light from within the inner sun at the seat of the solar plexus. In other words, the spirit, the internal spirit, they reconnect, they make the journey within, right? And that raises their vibrations to a higher consciousness. Now, this plane, which is Malakut, or the midway point, the solar plexus, this plane is the midway plane between the human and the supreme being. You see, in other words, the human or the lower planes would be the gonads and a man and the cervix and a woman, and then the lotus breastplate or the Malakut, the fourth plane would be in your solar plexus. Then that's the fourth plane. So you have the abdominal seat, you have the navel, and then you have the lower seat. Those 3 seats below. Are you following me?
Yes,
and then the midway point between the lower being and the higher being, because above the fourth plane you have the 5th, which is the laryngeal seat, and the 6th, which is the pineal gland, and the 7th, which is the crown molar at the top of your head, right? The 7th plane. So thus all the way to heaven, 7 heavens or 7 hills. You follow me? These are all inside the human being. So when Joseph dreamed and he saw the angels ascending and descending up and down the ladder in his dream, he was asleep, remember. His eyes were closed. So this was an internal vision. And the angels, the ladder that the angels were ascending and descending was his spinal column. Are you following me? The 33 notches in the spinal column, every notch is one of the rungs or steps in the ladder. You follow what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So the kingdom of heaven is within you. I'm in all and what?
The all is in me.
Exactly. Okay, this plane is the midway plane between the human being and the supreme being up there in the higher planes, the 5, 6, 7, right, where all those, the ancient mystic order of Melchizedek spiritually meet. That's how we meet tonight, where they adorn their crimson crown. So you weren't under Wabi long enough to remember when we were in ancient mystic order of Melchizedek, were you?
No, sir.
Okay, but you remember we had uniforms we wore, and everybody bought their own fez. And you had some people with a crimson or red fez. You remember that? Red fez. Some people with a white fez. And of course, Yanu and I had black feathers. Well, those feathers denoted where you were spiritually. Because if you had a red fez, you were on NASA or Earth, you were in the lower planes. If you had the white fez, you were in the midway point, Malakut, as an angelic being, white. And if you had a black fez, you were up in the higher planes in Lahut with the Most High. Are you following me?
Yes, sir.
All right. And that was determined by him where you were. This plane is the midway plane between human being and the supreme being, where all those of the ancient mystic order of Melchizedek spiritually meet, where they adorn their crimson crown, and you listen to hear the tassel bell of happiness sound. Okay, can you explain that to me?
The cannabis of sound?
Yeah, verse 95. Can you read that and explain it to us?
This plane is the midway plane between the human being, which would be the solar plexus,
right,
which would be right in between the higher planes.
Exactly.
In the human body.
Precisely.
And between the human being and the supreme being, where all of those ancient and the mystic order of Melchizedek spiritually meet, which would be from the heart chakra and up.
Exactly. They would have from a white to a black fez, not the red.
And where they adorn their crimson to black crown, which would be those closest to the Most High?
Yes. And those on NASA, the fallen.
And those on NASA. And as you listen to hear the tassel bell of happiness sound, and isn't that the piece on the fez?
Exactly. You see, so when you look at the fez, let's take the black fez, for example. You see the crown, the jewels on the front of it. That's representative of a sham, right? There's crystals on the sham. And then when you look at the makeup of the hat, you can see that there's a circle on the bottom that your head goes in, right?
Yes, sir.
That represents 360 degrees on the lower planes, right?
Yes, sir.
And then you have a round circle on the top of the fez, right?
Yes, sir.
That represents 360 degrees of the higher plane. And then the tassel that you speak of, it's on top, attached to the top of the fez, and it's got a ball on it on top, right?
Yes, sir.
Well, that ball is your soul. And when you travel in what you call astral flight or OBE, you move across the sky, and people that can see it, they think of you as a comet or a fallen star. So the tassels that come off that ball, that's the streamers behind the comet when you're outside of your body. Malachi wrote a book called Mission Earth, and he photographed a sham outside of his house. And there was a spiritual entity descending out the bottom of that hole in the sham, because the sham and the fez are the same thing, right? The sham,
yes, sir.
It has a big hole in the bottom of the sham, right? Like a crown. And that represents a crown as well. And that big hole, when the spiritual being descends out of it, it's a ball of light. And it has a long stem of light behind it. So it appears as the tassel, you follow what I mean, that hangs off the fez. But it's also representative of when somebody has a big bell and they ring it. You see they have a long stem on the tassel in it with a ball at the end of it.
Yes, sir.
And usually on churches they ring that bell to call everybody to service, to worship and remember the Most High. So the tassel bell of happiness is emblematic of that crown that you wear, that fez. It's a sham for those that are ascending at various stages of evolution consciously.
Yeah.
So with the black one, you have the hole at the center. You put your head in. That's 360 degrees, representing the lower planes, and then 360 degrees at the top circle, at the top of the fez, represents 360 degrees of the higher planes. 360 is 720 when you make that ascension. And the jewels on the front represent the jewels on the sham. And then the tassel at the top, the ball, is actually your spiritual essence. And the tassels are the stream of light that trails behind you when you move across the heavens. You follow me?
Yes, sir.
So these outfits, everything that he did had a symbolic meaning. You follow what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Right. He wasn't just dressing people up in colorful suits. That wasn't it. All right. Okay. So let's read again. The chosen is that one who finds his normal consciousness level. Verse 193. The chosen is that one who finds his normal consciousness level, expressing a bright light from within the inner sun at the seat of the solar plexus. This plane is the midway plane between the human and the supreme being, where all those the ancient mystical order of Melchizedek spiritually meet, where they adorn their crimson crown, and you listen to hear the tassel bell of happiness sound, where their heart is wrapped with the noble sash. Because you also had brothers and sisters had a sash they put over their shoulder, and a token of authority, dignity, power, honor, and reward. One is a symbol of glory and remembrance of their great path. Take a long walk on that short path. As they raise in height from degree to degree, 720 is what they will be. 360 master the physical, that's the lower part of the fez, and all 360 opens the way to the spiritual hall, that's the top circle on the fez. 7 and 20, 9 to the ninth power of 9. At this point, you become Lord over space and time, knowing no depth and no height, raised from the darkness of ignorance to the intellectual light, endures all temptations when he is tried. A crown that is his own, the jacket with the wings of an angel is worn. All right, so is that clear to everybody what's happening there? Now, let me ask all of you all a question. Do you say it again?
Mr. Amun, this is Hyatt.
All right, how are you?
I'm doing all right.
What's your question? I'm glad to hear your tone.
No, because I was listening to what you were saying, but there was something about the spirituality, and I was wondering, with the 7 chakras and everything that's going on, and I was trying to figure out, how can you say that, life is supposed to be this direction when there is no positive direction? There literally is not.
When there's no what now?
Literal direction. There's no prospect for another movement. And I get what you're saying to a certain degree, but I don't.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Do you think does a person have to die in order to go to heaven?
I don't believe
physically
that.
die.
I believe that. No, I believe that we've been living on hell this whole time.
This is hell. Earth is a penitentiary for wayward angels that have been cast down because they were disagreeable and evil.
Well, okay. Well, if we want to look at it from a different standpoint, yeah, I guess I can go with that. But I mean,
Okay, let me ask you. Let me ask you a question. I can summarize it. Do you believe in Panababianu's writings, like the Holy Tablets?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear. I didn't hear the last part.
Do you believe in Panababianu's writings, like the Holy Tablets?
Well, what I believe in is, I mean, no offense to anybody, I believe in, just life and God, and I don't have a personal preference towards it. What I do is I like to sit there and get any kind of information because honestly, like I told you, I listen to you a lot, and that's all good because I really like to sit there and find out other religions and spirituality that comes along with. I'm not
Okay.
trying to sit there and jump the bandwagon.
I understand. Let me throw some light in blind corners. Then that's the right attitude for a person that doesn't know, right? But you have masters that have been studying.
I'm not aware, sir. It's not that I'm not aware. I'm well versed when it comes down to this, and I know about keeping my eyes open and knowing what's going on in my surroundings as far as
All right, let me ask you: Did you know that you're a twofold entity, a twofold being?
Okay.
That you're physical and spiritual. Do you know that?
Yes.
Okay, so where you sitting, if it's in a chair, will I be talking to a physical being right now or a spiritual being?
Right now, you'd be talking to someone that's probably a physical being because spiritually,
exactly.
I'm listening.
And you're coming from a carnal, physical perspective. But what I'm saying is that when you raise your consciousness to a spiritual, turn yourself inside out, then you can reconnect with the higher things. And all this will make sense to you. It'll lock in. It's as plain and clear as the nose on your face. It's reality. But to a person, that's what you call an enocyte or a forgetful being. They don't. See, these are things that you used to know, but you've forgotten by time, don't you see? In other words, wherever you're sitting right now, you got two physical eyes, and you can see the room around you. You can see the walls, the floors, and the ceiling, but you can't see through them because your vision is restricted because of the physical eyes. But if you close them and use your mind's eye or third eye, you can see the outside of that building from there, or you can see your mother's house or your best friend on the playground in third grade. And it's not just memory, because you've had dreams and you saw something happen in front of you, and then a week later you told the person walking next to you, man, I saw this in my dream a week ago, right? Or better yet, haven't you had a dream before where it was so detailed, you woke up and told the person next to you, hey, I saw you in we was fishing last night in my dream, and we was doing this or that. I saw us doing this or that and the other in my dream last night. Haven't you told somebody that?
Well, that would be
oh, yes or no question. That's what it would be. That would be yes or no. Did you see somebody? He woke up and said, "I saw us last night in the dream doing this or that." Right? You have had that dream, right?
Well,
yes, you have.
I believe that everybody has had that dream.
Okay, but I'm asking. Okay, this is what I'm saying. I don't want to confuse you or everybody else, because I don't want y'all to think I'm here to create confusion. What I'm asking is, you do remember having a dream where that you woke up and told somebody, hey, I saw you in my dream last night, and we was fishing and we was doing this, we was eating barbecue in my dream last night. You told people that you saw something in your dream last night, right?
Right, it's your subconscious sitting there just coming back to.
I understand what you want. I'm saying yes or no. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Okay, that takes a long. That's what I'm saying. We got to cut out that. Okay, that antagonizes me. Okay, now let me say this. When you saw yourself, let me say this. When you saw yourself in that dream with somebody else, my question is, when you were looking at yourself with them in the dream, who was it that was looking at y'all in the dream?
It would be self-reflection, right?
It would be your highest. It would be the highest self that would. it would be the higher self that we're talking about right now.
Okay, the higher self?
Right, the spirit. Just like John on the Isle of Patmos was raised up in the spirit on the Lord's day. And Jesus sent to his angel to signify to him the book of Revelation, revealed to him things which must shortly come to pass. He was raised up in a spiritual, and when he was in a spiritual, he was no longer restricted by time and place. He could see through walls and back and forth through time. So he could see 2,000 years into the future and write the book of Revelation, which was a book authored by Yahshua HaMashiach, or Jesus the Messiah, right? But the only way that a man 2,000 years ago on the Isle of Patmos could write about things that's happening in 2,000 years later, as he had to be raised up in the spirit, because he wasn't brought forth physically. You follow what I mean?
But didn't he get persecuted because of his reasons?
He was persecuted by demons because they didn't understand him, and they were just disagreeable and evil beings. Yes.
He got persecuted by his.
And they exiled the Roman government. The government exiled him to the Isle of Patmos because he was a follower of the Messiah Jesus, and they didn't like it. The devils didn't like it, and they didn't understand it at all. So when the devil doesn't understand a thing, he attacks it. It's like a child that's afraid of the dark. Now, logically speaking, the child's not afraid of the dark because the dark never hurt anybody. In fact, a lot of times you leave the light on, you say, hey, turn that light on, I can't sleep. You find comfort. It reminds you of being in the womb. But what it is that frightens people about the dark is it's the unknown. Because in the dark, they don't know what's in. They don't know that that's what frightens them, is the unknown. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah, right there.
So beings are afraid. Beings are naturally averse to and afraid of things they don't know. They're in the dark about. They're in the total dark. They're totally in darkness, but they perceive not. But blessed are those that can hear my voice, because certainly thou wert heedless of it. But today, hopefully, we have removed from thee thy veil, so thy sight is sharp. But you find people in class, when it's time to move stars, they run off, they don't have nothing to do. In other words, they're carnal, physical beings, a shade thing. You follow what I mean? But these, I'm here for the spiritually elite, the 144,000 elect. Those souls that are purifiable, those souls that are capable of making the ascension, or turning themselves inside out. And that's not everybody, because many are called, but very few are actually chosen.
But that would be coming to one mind, right?
Exactly, one mind, one universal mind. I'm becoming aware of the fact that we are already one mind.
Which was
remember the example I gave you? Okay, let me give you this example again. Have you ever been reading a book that you were so interested in, you were interested in, and then a fly started annoying you, flying around and buzzing, but you were interested, you just kept reading. Then you got so annoyed and antagonized by the fly that you put the book down and picked up the raid or fly swatter. As soon as you picked that up, what did the fly do then?
Well, it might have deterred me from being where I was initially at.
What you're saying is the fly flew away. You having trouble with a straight line. Okay, the fly flew away, right? And then when you got tired of waiting, you put the raid or the fly swatter back down and picked the book up and started reading. And then what did the fly do then? It came back. It came back. It came back. The fly came back. So the fly is reading your mind. The fly knows when you're a threat or a danger, and he knows when you're not. So when you become an imminent threat, he flies away because of one mind. And when he knows that you become docile again, he comes back and starts antagonizing you again, right?
True.
That's Beelzebub, the Lord of the Flies.
I only wanted to ask you that question. I'm gonna let you get back to your, to your sermon.
I love you. I love you. I really do love you. I do love you. Yeah.
You too, man. It's all
right.
I told you I was gonna chime in just once.
I understand, and I love you. I'm really glad you're doing that because that's how you're gonna learn. That's how you're gonna grow. That's how you're gonna make the journey within. That's how you're gonna become an immortal and become as a master like Jesus and them. You can at some point do greater things than him. I'm not looking for followers. I'm looking for people to walk with me. I
hope that we can all grow together. Not
exactly. But we all have to be on a conscious level. You follow what I mean?
Hey,
we all have to be on the same conscious. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I'm saying I've been a whole lot of things my whole entire, and I'm not trying to be, outside of any box. If I have a question, I'm gonna ask. If I don't know, I just don't. But I.
And that's right. And that's why you have a question and answer class. I love you for that, and I respect that. That's very good. I just hope that you understanding things better than you did. I hope things are clearing up for you is what I'm saying. That's all.
Oh, no, I'm listening. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interject. I'm sorry about that.
No, there's nothing wrong with interjecting. You follow me? Unless it's antagonistic. I mean, but whenever you can be honest and answer questions straightforward and be true to thine own self, be true, you're an asset. Not a hindrance, you see?
And I do want to say...
But John 8:32, know the truth, and the truth will make you free, you see?
Yes, sir.
I love
as far as the podcasting thing and everything like that go, I heard the last statement, and hopefully I can get this going a little bit sooner than later. And I will sit there and keep in contact with you.
Well, I got patience, as the board do. I have patience, and I will work with you step by step. I will do that. It's my job. Okay. It's my mission.
We got to work together on this whole situation.
Yes, we do. There is no big or small in the eye of all. We are one.
Well, I was saying it's new to me as well, so I'm trying to sit there and just figure this out. I have to talk to my cousin down in Bama, and once I get in touch with him, we're gonna sit there and work everything out, man. So that way I could try to help you out as well.
I love you. Each one teach one. That'll be good. A beautiful thing. We have to learn how to love ourselves first again, and love one another again, and support the mission. We have to do that for our own soul's sake.
Peaceful, man. I'm gonna let you go ahead and handle your business, bro.
All right.
I love you.
One love.
Rahul back.
All right. Rahul back. Rahul.
Hey.
Hey, Rahul back. Lazy, bon temps roulé. Last year on your team.
That's right.
Tu l'as dit de votre vous. How things going down there in Baton Rouge? Red stick.
Yeah, it's getting hot. That's all.
Oh man.
I got a question I want to ask you. I want to know what was the purpose of a Bible being created in the beginning?
Well, the original, what you call the Bible, was mistranslated as many as 7 times, and now even more, because every time you look at it, we got a New World Translation, right? But what you call in the Bible actually came from the Amun-Rayay, Atrahasis, Gilgamesh epics, tablets of Etna. You follow what I mean? The original cuneiform tablets brought down by the Anunnaki. The flood story and all that came from the Bible. But it was really mistranslated by many people, like King James, a political figure that added parts of the scripture like, thou must not suffer wish to live, which was a fail-safe for him and his political agenda, because if anybody disagreed with the king, they would classify it as a witch by the church, and they were taken out on a rowboat in the lake, and they had their left wrist tied to their right ankle and their right ankle tied to their left wrist, and then they were thrown overboard in the lake. And if they floated, they were declared a witch brought back in and burned at the stake. But if they didn't float, he didn't have to worry about it. So you didn't survive the witch test. You follow what I mean? And Josephus Flavius Piso, you can look this up. It was Italian acting troupe that also mistranslated what you call the Holy Bible, the Josephus Flavius Piso's family, the Piso's family in Italy. And many people, like the Gideons, a lot of them mistranslated the Bible, and they used it as an opiate to manipulate the masses with, to control the minds of people. You follow what I mean? So it's a corrupted book. Now, there's a lot of things in the book the devil left because of his ignorance. He had you enslaved, and he made it possible by death if you were caught reading the Bible, or any book, but the Bible in particular, punishable by death. And so he left things in the Bible, such as the description of Jesus Christ: hair of a lamb's wool, eyes of many fire, his feet shone from under his robe, the color of fine brass, as if they had been burned in the furnace. Nappy head, red eye, blackness, with a heavy voice. And you know, and Jeremiah 8:21, my skin is black upon me, my bones are burned with heat. Solomon chapter 1 verse 5 and 6, look not upon me, for I am black. As the tents of Kedar, look not upon me, for the sun is shone upon me. Or, you know, you got many verses in the Bible like that say you are gods, like John 10:30-36. Jesus speaking to the Jews in the first verse, he said, I and my Father are one. The Jews took up stones again to stone him. He said, many good works have I shewed you for my Father, for which of those works do ye stone me? They said, for good work we stone thee not, but for blasphemy, because thou being a man maketh thyself God. Jesus answered them, is it not written in your law, I said ye are gods? And if you call them gods, unto whom the word of God singular came, and the scriptures cannot be broken. Or Psalms 82 and 83, God, capital G, standeth in the congregation of the mighty. He judges amongst the gods, small g-s. And if he called them gods, right? In other words, there's the big G, G-O-D. They try to separate the meaning like that, but whether it's a small g or big G means the same thing. And it said, God stands in the congregation of the mighty, capital G-O-D. And then, you know, he also said that you are the children of God. So what I'm saying is that if a dog had babies, it'd be puppies, right?
That's right.
But what do puppies grow up to be?
Dogs.
Right. So if you're the child of God, what do you grow up to be?
God.
Exactly. And that frightens a lot of people. You follow me? They call you blasphemous and different things. But they left those things in there, or it tells you that all lepers are cursed white. If you write down Numbers chapter 11, right? It speaks about Moses and Aaron and his sister, and they antagonized Moses and were jealous of him because they were older, and said, does the Lord indeed speak to you alone and not to us? And the Lord overheard them and called them into the tent at the tabernacle, and he manifested in light, which is an angelic being, usually Gabriel, Jibril in Arabic. And his anger was kindled against them. He said, were you not afraid to talk about my servant Moses like that? Weren't you afraid? And obviously they weren't afraid. So when he descended back up into the higher vibrations, his sister, she was left on the ground, cursed with leprosy, white as snow. You understand? And it was her brother Moses that felt empathy for her and compassion, and fell down and started begging the Most High to remove the curse from her. And he did after a while, but she had to be enclosed with the lepers in a clay hut, and the leprosy was so profound that it made the bricks sweat, because it actually ate all the melanin off her body from her head to the ball of her feet. But it came back, the Most High relieved her of her leprosy, and she stopped being rebellious against the Most High and his messengers. You follow me? Now they left all those things in the Bible, and I know they didn't mean to, just like Romans chapter 7 and 8. But you see, they felt secure in doing that because of the law, that if a black man read the Bible, he would be hung. So they came out with things like, if you want to keep a secret from a nigger, put it in a book. You follow what I'm saying? But they didn't have the foresight to know that the Most High told Abraham to know of assuredly that your seed would be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and they will serve them and they will afflict them for 400 years. And after that time, I will come and judge that nation. And all of you would come out in the ripe old age with wealth. In other words, when you hear scriptures like, and the last will be first, the first will be last, and the meek will inherit the earth, that's reality, and it's happening right now. He's been sending his messengers to raise up the people that are worthy to hear, outside of the ones that are totally rebellious, and they rebel only, and they will not hear the truth. You can't talk to people that already know everything, because if they're a physical being, they may know everything about the physical realm, but they know everything about nothing, because I told you that an atom is 99% nothing. So all the things that are in the world are actually nothing. What would it profit a man, right? So when people know everything about nothing, they're in danger. Because this world is actually like a minefield. You hear me? So you can be in the world, but not of the world. Now I know we deflected from your question, so could you ask? Let me try to ask it in a way you can get exactly what you need from me.
Yeah, I was just trying to see the purpose. Was the original scripture the right thing?
Yes, it was.
Right?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
Just like the Quran. Okay, like the Quran. The original Quran was the correct book. It was right knowledge. But it too has been corrupted by the pale Arabs. You follow me? But they too made a mistake and left things like Taha 102, Surah Taha 102. Look it up. Holy Quran, Taha 102, that says, in the day that the trumpet will be blown, the guilty will be gathered blue-eyed on that day. Now they're trying to turn that to zircon and blur-eyed and all, but the original thing is, on the day when the trumpet is blown, the guilty will be gathered blue-eyed on that day. They overlooked that because they didn't think that you all would ever read the scriptures. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
But they tried to be tricky in their hadith. For example, the imam or the leader of the congregation, every Friday he would lead Jumu'ah, right? And he would prostrate in front of his congregation dressed in white. But they would say that to trick you, that the imam led Jumu'ah on Friday, and from the vantage point of the congregation, the whites of his armpits were clearly visible, which would make you think, what race is he?
White.
That's right, make you think he's a white. But they failed to tell you he was wearing a white jalabiyah. You see what I mean?
Right.
Right. So they have all these cunning tricks to deceive the Decepticons. But all these things are being revealed because Elijah Muhammad, Malachi Z. York, and now Ahmed or Amun-Rayay, we all come in succession. But what happens to people, they fall in love with the messenger in the same way John on the Isle of Patmos, where Jesus sent to him his angel to declare unto him things which must shortly come to pass. Jesus' angel was the angel Michael, the head of the angelic order. And when John saw him in that light, shining in his countenance and the strength emanating from him, it was so powerful that he thought he was so glorious that he fell at his feet and started to worship him. He thought he was the source. But the source is so magnificent that even those sent from him are glorious to behold. And when he fell at his feet to praise the angel Michael, the angel put his hand down and touched him and said, "See thou, do it not, for I am thy fellow servant." You follow what I'm saying? So when Elijah Poole, that was born in Sandersville, Georgia, raised up to Elijah Muhammad, for the third time, that soul was on earth. That was the original soul of Elijah the Testament that brought the water down on the sacrifice and flew up in a fiery chariot in a double portion with John the Baptist that baptized Jesus in the Jordan. And he was decapitated in penitentiary by the, Salome that asked him that she danced for him and what have you. But he manifested in Christ for the third time as Elijah Muhammad with a third-grade education. He raised up the whole nation of Islam. Now, college graduates couldn't do that. But the Creator, a lot of times, would choose men specifically because of their ignorance. For example, Mustafa Muhammad Alameen, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, peace and blessings of the Most High be upon him, was also Ummai, mother taught. Because when he was in the cave at Mount Hira, the angel Gabriel incarnated and fell and said, Ikra bismi dabi alayka, read in the name of your Lord, who created. And he responded, I am not a reader. And he pressed him hard and said, Ikra bismi dabi alayka, read. Surely your Lord knows best what he created. I am not a reader. And he pressed upon him again, then he started reading. Because the Creator knows best what he created. So he wanted to make sure that you all knew that it wasn't a university that made men smart. It was universal knowledge that made men wise and smart. Because he raised them up himself. Elijah Muhammad and Mustafa Muhammad Alameen, peace and blessings Most High be upon him. And that was me that the Quran was delivered to. And I've come here for the third time because I came 19 generations after him as Ahmed al-Mahdi in a Sudan with the Ratib. And right now, if you go back, for people that are new, Ivy, go back in your holy tablets to chapter 13. Let me show you something about a timeline. Chapter 13. All right, we're going to go to chapter 13.
The Holy Tablet?
We're going to...
In the Holy Tablet, chapter 13?
Yes, sir. We're going to go to verse 248. Let me know when you all there. Tablet 16. Tablet 17. Chapter 13. Go to verse 248. Let me know when you get there, son. Ari, where you at right now?
I got it. You said 248?
Okay. Yes, sir. As for those who conceal what they know to be true, and idol worshippers, those that worship idly, right, could not have freed themselves from falsehood until the clear evidence came to them. Here's the clear evidence. He, Ahmed, was one sent from Elyon El as an apostle, reciting the purified pages, the holy tablet, all in caps and underlined, right? Now, do the timeline. Okay, Ahmed Muhammad, the three Mims, he came with the Holy Quran. It was delivered to him by the angel Michael, and then Ahmed the Mahdi came with the Ratib, right? I'm back again. But I'm reciting to you the purified pages of the Holy Tablet. You see that, son? He, Ahmed, was once sent from Elyon El as an apostle, reciting the purified pages of the Holy Tablet. Now, the problem is, the Holy Tablets came out in 1997. Are you hearing me, Ivory?
Excuse me. I'm on,
yes.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Oh, excuse me. Aunt said that she's, excuse me, in 404 and 774, and she can't hear you. And she wanted to let it be known to you.
Tell the sister to hang up and call back in. Unc, do you have 774 open? In Texas.
She said she was in 774. She said
can you open up
774?
Keeper. Can you open up 774? Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Katat, say you hear me? Okay, but I can't hear you, Katat. So, there's something wrong with 504 and 774.
Well, I'm in 504 and I can hear you just fine. She couldn't hear you in 774.
Okay, are you here? See, a couple of rooms have been dropped. It would happen. Now, Katat, can you open up 774 and 504 real quick for us, please?
Yeah, I'm in 504 too. 504 is working all right, I guess.
Okay.
I'm in 504.
Well, the devil is blocking classes and things in every way he can, black and white. That's the devil playing games with the classes. They're trying to cut the people off so that they can't be raised up.
I just told her to go to 504 because it's working really good.
Okay, I love you. And you gave her the number? Okay. Okay, now Ivory, you here, right? Ivory.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you understand verse 251 here? Can you read that to me? Verse 251. Can you read verse 251 to me?
It is in the course of our conversation. Is it that one?
No. Yeah.
Chapter
no.
16?
Verse 251. He, Ahmed, we talking about chapter 13, tablet 16. Tablet 16, verse 248. Read that for me. Verse 248 down to 251. Loud and clear, please.
241.
248.
Oh, 248. Okay.
As
for those who conceal what they know to be true.
Okay, you know what that means.
To conceal
and the idol worshippers, those that worship idly or worship idols, could not have freed themselves from falsehood until the clear evidence came to them. What is that clear evidence, Ivy? Read 251. Loud.
Ahmed was one sent from Elun El as an apostle reciting the purified pages, the holy tablets. All right.
And that's not a typo. That's why he capitalized it. So when did the Holy Tablets come out? In 1997, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So are we talking about? So we talking about Ahmed with the Quran or Ahmed with the rat kid a long time ago, or we talking about Ahmed right now on the phone with you today? We talking about Ahmed on the phone with you today, right?
Yes, sir.
Right.
I'm the one reciting the Holy Tablets right now, right?
That's right.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, if you go to chapter 6, real quick.
Okay. Which tablet?
Just a minute. I think tablet 4. Chapter 6, tablet 4, I believe. Just a minute. Go to chapter 6, tablet 4, verse 168. You hear me, Ivy?
Yes, sir.
I want to make sure you woke up completely today, okay?
Yes, sir. Chapter 4, 168, correct?
Right. And afterward, right?
Yes, sir. Okay.
And the last generation, that's right now. This is the last generation. And afterward, in the last generation, there will be another Melchizedek. That's Panababianun, you hear me? He keeps coming back to you. You hear what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, Yanun is the first of the 12 elders. Do you hear what I'm saying? Is that what it reads?
Yes, sir.
He's the first of the 12 elders. I am the last. You hear me, Ivy? And the last will be head of all. And the last will be head of all. Our great archpriest, the word and power of Anu, who will perform miracles greater and more glorious than all the previous ones. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
He's the first of the 12 elders, and I'm the last. The great archpriest, the word and power of Anu, who will perform miracles greater and more glorious than all the previous ones. Because all the previous ones performed miracles as well. You hear me?
Yes, sir.
Now go to chapter 19. Then after that, I'm going to let you go. I can take you a lot deeper, trust me. But I'm going to let you go after this.
Sir. Chapter 19.
We're going to go to verse...
Tablet?
Tablet 6. We're going to go to verse 313. If you have the softback, it's 1648. Chapter 19, tablet 6, verse 313.
Here we are.
Okay. Behold, the Son of Righteousness, that's Malachi, stands before you with the scroll of Malachi. That's the holy tablets, you understand?
Yes, sir.
Behold, the Son of Righteousness stands before you with the scroll of Malachi, that rebukes the liars for their transgressions, and who will prepare the way for the Messiah, by turning the hearts of the fathers to the sons, and the sons to the father, or else I, Malachi, will strike the earth with utter destruction. Now you are ready to move on towards the next level, and ready to accept what I was giving you originally, a teaching that none can stand against. You were the meek that are here to dumbfound the wise. And so we are at the beginning again with Sufi and feathers. Only now we are Sufi under the Amun, the ancient God of Melchizedek, the beginning of their end. You can't be fooled by any religious doctrines of any kind. No, not nowadays. You have your first two, this holy tablet. Not someone else's interpretation. Your own scripture. Please mute your phones. Your own scripture that will dispel all the lies, causing all false things to perish, making the truth come to light. Please mute the phones. All right, now, go back to verse 295. A couple of pages back. In the same...
19? Okay.
Yeah, same chapter.
295?
Yeah. Let me see. Let me make sure it's...
Yes, sir, I have it.
Okay, wait a minute.
What are y'all looking at?
Yeah, no. That's the wrong... Let me find it, please. No. Go to verse 165. 160. Son, go to verse 165.
Okay.
Chapter 19, tablet 6, verse 165. Let me know when you're there.
Tablet
Can you say that again?
165.
Verse 165.
I have it.
Chapter 19.
I have it.
Tablet 6. Chapter 19, Tablet 6.
I have it.
Verse 160. Yeah, I'm talking to the sister right now. Verse 165. You got it, sister?
I'm typing
Page
it in now. I'm
1649.
trying to get it. Yeah.
Okay.
Moving gold.
It's chapter, let me, wait a minute, son. Chapter 19, Tablet 6, verse 165. It is my voice that roars with the sound of many waters saying these things. That's Malachi. I say unto you, who are faithful and true, I am the Melchizedek of all the holy prophets. Allah has sent me to give good tidings, to prepare the way for Hamashiach, or Al-Mashi, the real Messiah, and to show you things which must shortly come to pass, and prepare a way straight for him. Right? So you see
Yes,
what
sir.
that angel was saying? The angel Melchizedek, or Michael, why was he sent here?
To prepare the way for the Messiah?
That's right. To make straight the way of the Lord. The Messiah. Amun-Rayay. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Because we're a Trinity. We are a Trinity. Amun-Rayay and Amun-Rayay. But we're actually a quantity with Amun-Rayay as the mother, Mary. Or Hathor. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Right. So we'll say, Amun-Rayay, and envision her in violet light as a craft, and projecting the light down to Amun-Rayay, a yellow sun, and then projecting another light down to Amun-Rayay, a red light, then a blue light down to Amun-Rayay. You follow?
Yes, sir.
We are the Trinity that make up the Godhead, the three members, you understand? Are you clear right now, Ivy?
Yes, sir. You're talking about y'all
Okay.
in the Trinity.
Yes, but I am the Messiah, the one that he came
Yes,
to
sir.
prepare you all for my arrival, you hear me?
Yes, sir.
I'm the one that will recite the purified pages, the holy tablets to you, and perform miracles, do you understand?
Yes, sir.
It's time to go out and perform miracles right now. So wherever you are, all of you that are righteous and not righteously indignated, all of the righteous, go outside and tell me what you see in the sky.
We see
I
stars.
still couldn't find that verse in the in the tablet.
Well, you're looking for chapter 19. Write it down. Chapter 19, tablet 6, verse 165. But everybody...
Is that what I type in? Is that what I type in the search engine?
No, you got to type in Holy Tablets, comma, Dr. Malachi Z. York, comma, PDF. Holy Tablets, comma, Dr. Malachi Z. York, comma, PDF. And then you search for it. Now, sister, right now, I would like you to step outside in Michigan and tell me what you see in the sky, please. Keefer, what do you see in Tennessee there in the sky?
Nothing. Just thunderstorms and stuff going on here.
All right. In Texas, what do you see? Better yet, Cat, what do you see way out on that?
Amun.
Okay, it's overcast. Okay, what do you see on that big pleasure boat you're on out there in the sea, Cat? Anybody from London here?
It's cloudy in London.
It's Cloudy in London show. I'm glad to hear your tone. All right. Okay. Ivy, what's the sky look at like?
Stars.
Okay, in Michigan. Okay, what are you gonna see? Something over your head?
Yes.
Okay, what are you gonna do with that star in the name of Amun-Rayay?
In the name of Amun-Rayay, I want this star right here to move up.
Okay.
It just moved up, and it's still moving up. It's still moving up.
All right. I love you.
Okay,
now,
star, in the name of Amun-Rayay, move to the right.
To the right.
To the right. It moved to the right. It's moving up now. In the name of Amun-Rayay, drop down.
Drop down.
Drop down.
Okay.
Drop down. Okay, it just dropped down.
All right. What do you want from it now?
Dropping down.
Okay.
I see another star that I want to move.
Okay, what do you want? The other one you see, what do you want to do? You want to make it come closer, or what do you want to make it go in a circle? What would you like it to do, sister?
What's that? Like, move to the right.
Move to the right.
It's moving to the right.
All right. What do you want to do now?
Drop down.
Drop down?
Yes. Name of Amun-Rayay, drop down. Drop down. It's going on.
He ain't going nowhere. Pick up me cut off.
That's the sun. Drop down.
It is dropping down. Just watch. Wait a minute. Somebody got noise in the background. Please get your phone. Drop down the name of Amun-Rayay.
It just dropped down. Now it's going up.
No, it's dropping down. Anukas, can y'all see where she's moving? Hotep, what do y'all see outside? Anukas.
I see one star.
Okay, what are you going to do with it? You saw the one she was moving?
Okay.
Did you see that she was moving? Well, why didn't you say it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Bear witness to these
In
things.
the name of
okay.
In the name of Amun, raise up. It's moving around erratically.
Yeah, it's
In
wobbling.
the name of
yeah.
Amun, drop down. And drop it down. In the name of Amun, move to the right.
See, what a lot of people don't understand, I'm in my room with the lights out, my eyes closed, so I'm doing this within. I'm not outside looking at the stars like y'all. All right, move to the right.
In the name of Amun, move back to the left. Moving around a whole lot.
Yeah, it is. It won't be still.
Well, my mind is moving around because y'all kind of confusing right now. Go ahead.
In the name of Amun, come closer. Okay. In the name of Amun, move back. Okay. In the name of Amun, go clockwise.
Go clockwise. Go clockwise. It's going clockwise.
I love you for saying what you see. Bear witness.
Yes,
right.
moving clockwise.
All right.
Messiah.
I love you. All right, Brother Ivy, what state are you in again?
Texas?
Oh, you're in Texas. Okay,
Yes,
what do you
sir.
see? Is the sky cloudy?
No, sir.
Oh, you can see us. Okay, can you just start over the top of your head?
Yes, sir.
All right. What are you going to do with the name of Amun-Rayay? Y'all look at it while he's,
And then
and bear witness to what he's doing. What are you going to do with
the
it?
name of Amun-Rayay, make it drop down.
Drop down.
He's dropping down.
In the name of Amun-Rayay, move to the right.
Did you see it drop down, son?
Move to the right.
I see
Move to the right.
star moving down.
Moving to the right.
That is the star. That's what it's doing. Okay, move to the right. Y'all don't be
so
confusing now. Okay,
In the
but
name of
the one
Amun-Rayay.
Right.
slow down. Wait a minute. You said so many. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Well then, why don't you move the whole creation? Okay.
The whole
Yes, sir.
creation.
To the conference center.
Move the whole creation to the left.
To the
and
right.
press the pound
Move,
key.
listen, hey. Move all the creation to the left in the name of Amun-Rayay.
In the name of Amun-Rayay, the Messiah, move all creation to the left.
Please enter your conference ID and press the pound key.
Move to the left. Move to the left. Move to the left. Move to
Please
the left.
enter your
It is
conference
moving to the
ID
left.
and press the
All
All right,
pound
now
key.
move back to the right.
Left.
Move to the right in the name of Amun-Rayay.
In the name of Amun-Rayay, move to the right.
And when you see it move to the right, say so, please.
Enter your conference ID and press the
Shut
pound
up.
I
key.
see it moving to the right.
Okay, move right.
Please enter your conference ID and press the pound key.
Will you please mute your phone with that background noise? All right.
In the name of
all
Amun-Rayay.
creation raise up.
You have been muted. To unmute
In
yourself,
the name
press
of
the star key
Amun-Rayay, all
twice.
creation raise up.
It raised up. I saw it raise up.
Now all creation drop down.
Oh.
Y'all tell me what you see.
I see the creations dropping down slowly.
Okay. That's what you. All right. Now all creation go in a circle.
In the name of Amun-Rayay,
Clockwise.
move to the right.
Move to the right. You see, move to the right, right? That was all the whole creation, right, son? Ivy.
In the name of Amun-Rayay, drop down.
Okay, one more time.
It's dropping down and to the right.
You like that, huh, son? You didn't know you had the power to do that, did you?
In the
Now.
name of Amun-Rayay, go clockwise.
Move clockwise.
Moving clockwise.
You see it, Ivy? Moving clockwise, right? Yeah.
In the name of Amun-Rayay.
You like that, huh, son?
Go counterclockwise.
Say it again now. All right. That's it for tonight. I love you all. I want you all to understand that we...
I want to move something.
What do you want to move?
In the name of
One more
Amun-Rayay, go
star.
up.
This star right here above my head.
Okay, what are you going to do with it? The star above your head, sister. What do you want to do with it?
Make it go right.
You want to make it go...
go right.
Move to the left.
Okay.
It's going right. Thank you, Amun. It's moving to the right.
I love you.
Can you make it go to the left?
Okay,
In
one
the name
more
of
time.
Amun-Rayay, drop down.
Yeah.
Amun, can you make it move to the left? There you go. There you go.
Yeah, that's
It's
right.
moving
Now
to the
you
left.
wanted to drop down, Ivy. Okay, now we're gonna make Ivy start drop down.
It did already. It's dropping down right now.
I saw it move down.
Yeah, it is.
Yes. I love you all.
Yeah.
I am Meteor Authority.
In the
Amun-Rayay,
name of
answer.
Amun-Rayay.
That's it for tonight, son. That's it. I love you all. Yeah. See, no, I'm not laughing because let me tell you something, Ivy. Them white folks looking at that. You understand what I mean? Let me talk to you, son. These, NASA and all these people, they're looking at that. You understand? And they don't like
In the
it.
name
You
of
understand what I
Amun-Rayay,
mean?
move closer.
Okay, move closer. One more time. Now move back out.
In the name of Amun-Rayay, move
See,
to the left.
No, son, that's enough. Look here, let me say something to you. See, NASA and them looking at that, you see, and they don't like it. You understand what I mean? So I don't play with it. I just let people bear witness. No, stop, son. Okay, I love you all here, and we need you to write your testimonies and donate to the mission. Get your spiritual packages and donations, and propagate the post when I send them to you. Now, what I'd like you to do, son, is I need you to email your email to me. You got something to write with so I can give you my email address? Do you have something to write my email down with?
Name Amun-Rayay, drop down.
Oh, Lord. Come in.
No, it's still.
Listen here, I love you all here. Now I'm gone. Amun-Rayay.
In the name of Amun-Rayay.
So don't keep playing with that. That's not a game. Don't play with it like that. You know, we just want people to bear witness in this circle. We don't want to show everybody in the world. All right, I love you all. Write your testimonies, send your donations, get your spiritual packages, and above all, post up your posts. Post your post all over the world. And I want to say thank you, a special thanks to somebody that posted in Telegram. That might have been you, Cheryl, or Keith, somebody posted, and that's what brought this brother Ivy here right now. He saw the post in Telegram. Keep posting up all over the world. I love you.